Peace, family. It's your boy Zay-P. Zay-P the I am. I am that I am, as you are that you are, for we are all that we are. From the individual to the many, for the many is the all, and the all comes the one. So I'm back today with a brand new video. There's something heavy that's been weighing on my heart. I gotta go in about this corona, about this COVID shit. I mean, listen. Like I said, this is something heavy that's been weighing on my heart. I can't afford to be proper in this message. I have to communicate truth. I have to communicate the real. And so you have to be able to accept me at my rawest, okay? So just to get that off, there may be some curses. It may not be the most suitable video for children, things of that nature. But what I want to get into today, I want to get into a quick talk about the psyops and the spiritual warfare at play with regards to this whole coronavirus. The psyops and spiritual warfare of the COVID-19. So I really didn't want to get into talking about this stuff too much. I did a couple of videos regarding the COVID, healing videos that put out positive energy, videos to help heal the collective and things of that nature. But I didn't really want to dig in too deep into the denser energy as far as the fears and everything else that was going on, especially at the time when everything was bubbling. But now things have settled and the trajectory of how things are is much clearer. Spirit's been talking to me a lot the last couple of days with regards, the last couple of weeks actually, with regards to the COVID thing. There's insights and information that I'm coming into, which like I said, I didn't want to really share. I didn't really want to dive in deep. I'm the type of person that's like, yo, if it doesn't serve a purpose, if it's not helping, then there's no point in going into it. There's no point in sharing and creating more fear or things of that nature. This video is not about that. Understand? So before you cut out, just know this video is not about causing or kicking up more fear. This video is about informing you so that you can conduct yourself in a way that is going to benefit you through this time, in a way that's going to benefit your soul's purpose, in a way that's going to benefit your life here in the actuality. So when I say the psyops and the spiritual warfare of COVID-19, understand this is not an implication that I'm saying COVID is fake or that it's not real or some other thing like that. There are all sorts of information floating around right now these days. There's some sides that are saying the whole COVID thing is not real, and all the conspiracy theorists are jumping on that bandwagon and saying, whatever. There are some who saying this is the realest thing ever, and you get in contact with it, you will absolutely die. The truth is somewhere a lot closer to the middle. It's not so much about whether the corona thing is real or not. Obviously, people are suffering, people are dying, and unfortunately is going to continue. We are looking at a world that is going to be significantly reduced as far as our elderly, our infirmed, our even our children, the ones who are most susceptible. Now, I'm only saying that not to cause more fear and panic, but to understand these things happen. Life and death happens. Death happens. These things, people were going to pass with or without any type of diagnosis of corona or COVID. But it is the use of the corona and the COVID that's causing the mass hysteria. The use of it in the media, the use of it throughout all of the collective with regards to the different sides of information. There's so much happening and so much coming in that nobody is really getting clear information. Nobody is really getting truthful information. And that's because the situation is being used. It's being manipulated by various beings in various perspectives, right? From like the industrial medical complex to the school system to all different levels. It's being used. It may not always be being consciously used, but it is being used in one way or another. And in that, thus is the psyops. And you can see the psyops taking place in our culture when you start to see news stories that don't make sense or don't add up or don't correlate. You'll start to see some reportings in the news with regards to this is what causes it, and this is how it's traveling. Then you'll see other reports saying other things, whether it's a virus that's spreading airborne, or whether it's a virus that you have to catch, that you have to be within close proximity and receive like droplets and all of that. And then this goes to show how much the truth is closer to, we really don't know. They're still even in the process of kind of developing tests, getting the tests all out to people. Yet the numbers continue to rise as they continue to get the test out. But the tests are also controversial. So this is what I mean by psyops, in the sense that there's so much unknown with regard to this whole COVID situation. And yet there's so much information going around that's actually misinforming, misdirecting, misappropriating our energies. It's causing us to act out and act in ways that maybe are not in accordance with ourselves. And this is where the spiritual warfare comes in, because the spiritual warfare, when we talk spiritual warfare, this is deeper. This is not about the rich versus the poor. This is not about capitalism versus socialism, or this is not about the haves versus the have-nots. When we're talking spiritual warfare, we're talking love versus hate. How do you want to be in your life? How do you want to be in this world? See, dark times come, and the darkness that comes is always an opportunity for the light to be defined, right? The light that you have light within you. You are the light. You are your own light. And it takes darkness sometimes for you to define that light, right? The candle in the sun is not seen. It doesn't matter. It's just a little flame in the giant gaseous ball of fire. That candle in the sun is not seen, right? But when you take that candle out of the sun and you stick it someplace dark, that is when that light has meaning. So the spiritual warfare comes into place when you start to understand how all of the psyops that's taking place, how the way all of this, the media, the misinformation, what's going on in the internet, the different personalities that's trying to cash in on this, the different entities and beings who may actually be trying to do good but causing more fear, all of these different things that's really to give you a little bit of the information, a little bit of the real truth, without actually giving you the whole thing, just enough to get you to react, just enough to get you to act in accordance with certain things, right? You'll hear from the medical industry, you'll hear from the public sector or the government institutions, how we have to be on lockdown, we have to be on quarantine because of this and that. You'll hear from other institutions how it's even more so important to do these things as far as taking care of our bodies, but we should still be going. Like, you'll hear a lot of different stuff. That misinformation prevents you from actually accessing the real truth. And so as you bounce from one foot to the other, trying to keep up, trying to follow the dots, follow the bouncing ball, those behind the scenes, various different people are manipulating the situations, right? Businesses are figuring out ways to sell more. And those businesses that are not in place to sell more are either falling apart or collapsing or whatever the case may be. But all the industries are figuring out how to reconform and reassess, right? We globally are shifting consciously. We're shifting as far as the age. We're shifting from the industrial age to a technological age. Things are changing. The way people are making money is changing. It's no longer about going to the factory, going here and there to make that money. Now people are making money online. People are able to build communities online. So there's all sorts of different operators in play who is trying to capitalize or make the most out of this situation. You too can be capitalizing and making the most out of this situation. I see a lot of people complaining and talking about, oh, I'm so bored, I'm home alone, I don't know what to do, da 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 da. This is the perfect opportunity to be going within, to be cultivating yourself, to be figuring out your game plan. Because understand, once we come out of this, it's going to be a shift in the world. It's going to be more and more of the digital, more and more of the technological. And if you're not on your game, if you're not hustling, if you're not in the house cooking up ideas, cooking up ways how you can fulfill your dreams, how you can make stuff happen, then you may be left behind in the dirt when things get back to normal, whatever that is. Fact of the matter is, normal, there will be a new normal, and it is all coming into play. Now, when we come to the spiritual warfare aspect of this video, I want you to understand part of the spiritual warfare aspect is that there's a massive pull towards the darker side, towards fear-based thoughts, towards panicking, shrinking, closing yourself up. Stay home, don't go out, don't show no love to loved ones, don't connect, connect only digitally. You can't risk going out in person. Now, this is not to say you should do that. I'm not telling you to do that, but this is to say you understand how you are being in the moment, right? If you're choosing to just solely be locked up in your house and not go out and not connect to your loved ones and not check in on family, not connect to your heart, that humane aspect of yourself, just understand how you're being and how that is serving you. And then there are those who are being reckless with their lives, right? Where they're just like, fuck it, I'm a rebel, I'm not bowing down to this, I'm not gonna listen to the government, I'm not gonna do it, and they're putting themselves more at risk, right? So this is about understanding the psyops and manipulations behind everything that's going on, so that you yourself can conduct yourself in a way that is in accord with your light. Now, when I say this because the reason why I felt the need to do this video in the first place is because I just came from seeing my father. My father is 83 years old. He is elderly, he is senior, he is alone, unmarried. He deals with health issues. And the world wants to say it is not smart to go and check in on that old man. I had a good friend who just lost her grandmother. And one of the guilt that she was experiencing was the fact that she was not able to be as present as she wanted to be, or check in as much as she wanted to be, because of this whole lockdown situation. How many of us are neglecting loved ones? How many of us are neglecting our better sides, our humanity, our humane self? You get to choose how you want to be. It's okay to say, listen, I'm gonna stay home, I'm gonna take care of myself, I'm gonna protect my loved ones, I got a family, I want to make sure. That is a beautiful thing. But it is also okay to say, listen, I'm going to step outside, I'm going to go connect with a loved one over here to make sure that person who's living alone has somebody. So whether it's I'm going over to my father's house every couple of days, drop off some food or something like that. That's just the humanity in me. Why would I not do that? Although the world wants to tell me, yo, you're wrong for that. I'm sorry. I can't be wrong for following my heart. Now, at the same time, I would be remiss, knowing that I'm a father, knowing that, I have people that I live with, for me to go out and put myself at risk and know I'm going to come back home, right? So, whether it's I got to go to my father's door and just drop it off and knock and give him a quick phone call or something, then that's what I got to do. Today, he came out to the car because I couldn't find parking, which is fine. He came, he needed to get a little fresh air. He came out to the car, I was able to pass it through the window, I was able to see he's still alive. He's still good. There's still the social distance from that perspective, but at least I'm doing what I have to do, what's right in my heart. How are you choosing to be in this current situation, in this current crisis? How you choosing to be makes all the difference in the world. This is what the spiritual warfare is about. They want you to shrivel up and compress and be some little schmeagle in your own little humble abode, hiding from the world until all this passes over. Schmeagle. My precious. You're in your house. I'm worried about my life. My precious. Life is good. Life is beautiful. But what is life if you don't have love, if you don't have a heart, if you don't have humanity? Then you just have a physical process, a physical experience. But it's an experience that is lacking because there's no love in that experience. There's no real heart to it. the consciousness, right? There's none of that. It is just fear. You're closed up and you're hiding and you're safeguarding everything. Meanwhile, everything that needs to be safeguarded can only be safeguarded when you're sharing, when you're opening up, when you're giving it. When you're giving your love, that is how you safeguard it. That is how it's safeguarded, because when you're giving it, you're using it. When you give your light heals. It helps. It uplifts. When you shrink and shrivel in fear, your light doesn't matter. Your light has no value. This video is not to tell you what to do or how to conduct yourself as a person or a human being. But this video is just to remind you to be mindful of how you are being. Is the way you are being in accordance with that which you want to be? You want to be a fearful schmeagle in your house, and that's fine. Do what you got to do. If you want to be Mr. Out There and I'm a rebel and I'm going to be a fool, that's fine. Do what you feel. I don't control people. I'm not looking to control people. But I am looking to bring you back to yourself. Bring you back to your heart and your truth. In your heart and your truth, you know there's some funny stuff going on. And in your heart and your truth, you know all of this hiding and reckless reclusiveness at the expense of your loved ones, that can't be right. The middle way. There's always call for the middle way, when you can bring yourself back to that sacred space, to that point where you're like, I am going to mindfully as possible take care of myself, take care of my loved ones. But I'm still going to have a heart for my neighbors when I see them, to smile, nod hello, even if you don't want to spray germs, right? Hello. I don't have to smile and all of that, right? But I can still be neighborly. I'm still going to have my heart and check in on my father. And if I need to, if he's not answering the phone, take my ass over there. You know? Go over there and drop off some food. I'm still going to reach out to loved ones and to friends, however I can, whether that's digitally and whether that's through Zoom, because we're being smart and we are saying, okay, we know that there's something going on. We know that there's a reason and a need to take care of ourselves, to protect ourselves. But we're still having that compassion in that heart. I want to remind you and caution you all to be mindful of the psyops that are at play, that's causing you to bounce from foot to foot and shrink and be either in fear or expand and be a complete fool. The middle way. If you can find your middle ground, your balance point, if you can sit in the eye of your storm, if you can sit in the eye of this collective storm, it will pass. It will pass over. It will pass over us all. There will be losses. There will be points of pain. But when we come out the other end, ask yourself if you want to be that person who shied and who was never present, not there for your loved ones, who just sat in the corner and watched everybody you love disappear? Or do you want to be that loved one who was able to take care of themselves and still show love and support for your other loved ones, still bring light to and truth to the situations, still not get caught up by this and that, but just be mindful to hold a space and know there's a problem, I'll take care of myself, but I'm not going to allow this problem to force me to be something that I'm not. Choice is yours. But understand there's a lot of manipulations, there are a lot of machinations, there's a lot of psyops at play. And all of this is going into spiritual warfare, because we are being split and pulled in multiple directions, and we are being forced to choose how we wish to define our light. Don't snuff out your light. That's what gives value to life. Be that which you perceive. Be your truth. Be your best self. Carry yourself through this current crisis into a new world where your best self will shine. So that's all I had to say. You know, some people might think I'm a fool. Maybe. I don't care. I'll be a fool with the heart who has a life full of love and a life full of compassion and a life that I was of service and that I was able to help others and a life that I was able to protect my loved ones and protect myself. I'd rather be that fool than be the fool who stayed locked and hiding in the corner when things went down because I was so scared. I was so busy trying to protect my precious. You are more than your body. You are more than just this. Remember who you are. Peace and love, y'all. That's all I have to say. Blessings.